only article of clothing women would wear was la nagua. So la nagua was a piece of cloth made out of cotton, arobe, and Columbus, amongst other people, saw it in two forms. So if the girl was unmarried, she would wear it like the first girl here. Young girls who were not married wore a cotton band around their heads, like this girl up here. However, if she was with a partner, she would wear it longer, up to her knees. I read in other places that it was up to the ankles. So again, it could have been a different ethnicity that did that, because the Taínos were not just one group of people. They were a lot of different ethnicities. So Oviedo notes that the cacicas, because they were also cacicas, or women that were the leaders of their town or su yucayeque, ellos solo ponían hasta los tobillos, which are ankles. They did something really interesting with the cotton. So obviously the men would not have this piece here, but they would wrap around bands of cotton on their arms and also on their legs. You can see it better in this picture. She has it on both upper and lower arm, and they have it here right below the knee and on their ankles. They were also known to use nose rings, and they called them caracuri. They also used a red stone that came from seashells, or el coobo, from what Pedro Martí Angleria says. And they used it to make necklaces and other jewelry. They also wore earrings called guagua, and they were round. We still see people that use those type of earrings today, and obviously the lobe was stretched until it would accommodate the size of the disc that you wanted. We also know that they had access to quartz crystals, so they also used this to make different amulets and necklaces, different things that they wanted to enjoy. We also know that they wore headdresses, and these were made of different materials, but almost all of them had feathers. And we know that they wore feathers in their hair. They incorporated them in the different headdresses that they wore. And feathers was, from what I've read in the descriptions that I saw, it was something that was really important to them. The types of feathers, the quantity of feathers meant something. It was a status symbol. So some of the ones who served the caciques wore feathered headdresses of various sizes and colors, greens, whites, blues. So they wore these on their cacola, la cabeza, and would attach some of the feathers in their caco la muya, el pelo, in their hair. I like this image because it represents more accurately what a Taino cacique would have looked like. And this is up close. Here's the guagua. We have these outer beads. And I know he looks very thin, but remember, they're not lifting weights. they're lean people. And this is how men would wear their belts. Many of the jewelry that they wore were made of guanin. So this was an alloy of the mix between gold and copper, and the caciques, the chiefs and the cacicas, would wear them usually in half moon or in disc shapes. So that lets us know that they knew some metalwork. They would have had to have some familiarity with heating up the metal, shaping the metal, and detailing the metal. From what I understand, only the caciques and cacicas were permitted to use guanin as part of their jewelry.